Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be taking the understanding of the properties of limits further than the previous video and finding some good examples of utilizing the following. Given the limit of f of x as x approaches 4 is 10 and the limit of g of x as x approaches 6 is 4, find... Well, let's look at this one more time. Can we actually use the properties of limits on this? We can't, because these limits are not approaching that same x value. So we cannot apply the properties of limits. As you can see, one is approaching 4 and one is approaching 6. And the property of limit states that they have to be approaching the same x value in order to use those 6 properties. So let's change this up. Let's say that the limit of g of x as x approaches 4 is 4. Now, since they're approaching the same x value, we can use the 6 properties of limits. Now we have to find the limit of f of x minus g of x as x approaches 4. And now we can simply split those two limits and subtract 10 minus 4, which gets us 6. Now we have to find the limit of f of x times g of x as x approaches 4. Now we can just split those as well, since it follows one of the 6 properties mentioned in the previous video, and we can just multiply those two values of the limits, which is just 10 times 4, which gets us 40. Now to find the limit of f of x divided by g of x as x approaches 4, very similar to the product rule, except that you're dividing this time. So you just divide those two limits and you get 10 over 4, which can be simplified to 5 over 2. Now, this one, there's kind of two different properties that we can use that's going on here. There's this constant multiple one and the quotient property. So we can take out the 3 over 2 since it's a constant multiple. And we can do 3 over 2 times the limit of x approaches 4 of f of x divided by g of x. And that's the quotient rule, similar to the previous one. And that's 3 over 2 times 10 over 4, which gets us 15 over 4. You can also just do the limit of x approaches 4 of 3 times f of x divided by the limit as x approaches 4 of 2 times g of x, or you could just separate it out. This goes to show that sometimes you can be able to use more than one property, which is really useful. I hope this video helped. Comment down below any other math topics you want me to review. Thank you.